Heidi hi campers, I'm in Denmark. No, I was just watching Pond and Garden Live from last night and some interesting discussion on oxidizing agents, redox reactions and all that type of thing. Potassium permanganate is an oxidizing agent and it strips oxygen electrons, so it takes away the oxygen. Strangely, hydrogen peroxide is also an oxidizing agent, but it's on the reduction side, so it loses oxygen electrons and therefore reoxidizes the water. So they are both oxidizing agents, but they're on opposite ends of the spectrum. One reduces oxygen and one increases oxygen. And if you go and look up redox reactions and all that sort of thing, it's a little bit complicated and a bit complex and quite heavy chemistry, but they're both oxidizing agents. So that's the answer to the argument as to whether it's an oxidizing agent. Yes, it is, but it's on the opposite side of an oxidizing agent such as hydrogen peroxide. So yeah, just a very quick explanation as far as I understand it, and I'm not a chemist, but I did study chemistry quite heavily when I was younger. So yeah, I just sort of put that one to bed. Oh, interestingly, in the description there's going to be a link, and this goes back to the flow rate thing on the EasyPod. Yes, I know, but someone has said to me it'd be really interesting to see a document that Evolution Aqua had produced that said that 5,000 litres per hour through an EasyPod is the optimum fines filtration rate. And in a group chat earlier today, Evolution Aqua have produced a document on how much does it cost to run a 10,000 litre pond with an EasyPod and a Varipump. And they actually state in that document running a Varipump, 10,000 Varipump at 50%, which will be 5,000 litres, is the optimum filtration for fines. So whoever it was that said it, it'd be interesting to see something produced by Evolution Aqua saying that, and not just all the hearsay of what people have worked out over the years. And I can't remember who it was, so I'm not even going to guess who it was, because there were a lot of comments flying about and a lot of videos. Here is actually a document in the description. I'll put a link to it. I could do a screenshot of it, but I'm in Denmark. I don't really want to be sat on my phone playing about too much. I'm just sitting here chilling out. Fly home tomorrow. But I just thought I'd do a very, very quick video while it's fresh in my mind on this PP thing. Also, the reason there's no airstone in the PP dip and some of the figures quoted for PP, 3 to 4 grams per cubic meter or per 1,000 litres is a very strong PP dose. I've done 3 grams per 1,000 litres or 3 grams per I've actually done 4 grams per cubic metre, and that would be 4 parts per million. That is a massively high dose for PP, and is very, very, very harsh. Now, I've used PP for years, and that scared the life out of me. I was having a problem with trick, it wouldn't go away, so I thought, right, I'm going to hit it really hard. I had to neutralise that after an hour and a half, because I had fish, 70 centimetre fish jumping out the pond. So, yeah, 3 to 4 grams per 1,000 litres, or 3 to 4 parts per million, or 3 to 4 grams per cubic metre is not a dose I would recommend. The Kusuri packet works out to about 1.5 grams per 1,000 litres or cubic metre, or 1.5 parts per million when you actually work it backwards. That's the Kusuri dose on the back of the packet. They also say you have to keep it purple for 12 hours, which is a little confusing because that would be a very long PP treatment. I tend to dose at 2 parts per million, 2 grams per 1,000 litres, or 2 grams per cubic metre, and I tend to keep that purple for about 4 hours. PP will kill just about every parasite out there. There's actually a guy in South Africa that has all the champions, and the only treatment he really ever uses in his pond is PP. But he will dose at 2 parts per million for 8 hours a day for 5 to 7 consecutive days, which to me is a crazy long time to be PPing your pond. But he says that will literally kill anything. That will kill flukes, it will kill trick, it will kill Kostya, Chilinadella, you name it, it will kill it. So interesting info. Another thing that came up was salt. Yes, I have used PP with salt in the pond. A lot of people say you shouldn't do it, but I have, and I've had no ill effects. So that's just my experience. Salt, again, if you're doing salt dips, that will kill fluke. People say it won't kill fluke. If you get a salt dip at 0.9%, it literally just sucks all the water out of the fluke and it implodes. I've actually seen it on a slide. Very interesting. So, and it's instant. It's not something you have to soak the fish for half an hour to do it. As soon as the fish hits that salt, the fluke just implode. So that's another one to consider, especially if you're putting a new fish in the pond and you want to do a salt bath and you want to make sure that fish is as clean as possible. Very quick dip in a very high salt concentration, no more than about 3 or 4 minutes. Same as a PP dip. A PP dip, now a dip you can put at 4 to 5 parts per million, so 4 grams per 1,000 litres, but you will put the fish in for no more than 5 to 7 minutes on a very high dose. That will kill everything. And the video that was shown, the guy didn't have air, but you can tell by the colour of the water he's using a very low dose of PP. It's translucent, and he hasn't got an air stone in there because it's a very low dose. If you put in a very high dose, air is absolutely essential, because it will literally just take every bit of oxygen out of the water it can. So you have to keep pumping air into it. And that's why hydrogen peroxide is also the preferred antidote to PP, because it gives off oxygen, so it oxidizes by the actual hydrogen peroxide gives off its oxygen. It's still oxidizing because it's oxidizing the water, whereas PP takes the oxygen, so it's oxidizing itself, if that makes any kind of sense. So very brief on PP, very brief on salt, just a couple of comments from my point of view on the Pond and Garden Live that was on last night, and that Evolution Aqua document will be in the description. Ciao guys from Denmark.